Hi, I'm Steve Chater with TCT Property Management Services, and thank you for taking a minute to watch our investor update in May 2024. We really appreciate the hundreds of you that put your faith in us to manage your rental properties, and our goal is to help you build a better future. And the purpose of this video for the next couple of minutes is to talk about what you, as an investor in real estate, should know about the Phoenix area real estate market. So let me just move right into this. Number one, I want you to be able to celebrate the fact that the median sales price, that means the median is where half are above and half are below, has gone up 21% in the last 3 years. And so I don't know what you hear in the news as far as properties and appreciation, but you can see that by the chart on the screen that these property values have gone up. That's the median sales price. Median sales price can be adjusted by, well, what if $1 million houses are selling and all of that? So I always take a look at the average dollars per square foot that somebody is getting for a property, and that's actually gone up 24% in the last 3 years. In fact, take a look at this chart, and you'll notice that we've gone to a big peak, and then our dollars per square foot went down, and then it's been climbing back up again. We have now returned to the same dollars per square foot that we peaked on just 2 years ago. So, interestingly, as an investor, we know that it pays to own a property that's going up in value at the same time somebody else is paying off your mortgage for you. So good news is that these properties are continuing to go up in value. And the thing is that they're just not going as fast as they did in the past. But I just want to point out here that this is, so here was the peak, and the property values, or property, not the values, but the dollars per square foot went down. And then now this year, we have seen the dollars per square foot go up about 8%. And so our property values have recovered, and they're continuing to go back. You know what the beautiful thing is? The beautiful thing is if you didn't sell, you didn't experience the drop, because we've continued to have rents coming in, and rents have increased over the past 3 years. If you look at the dark blue line right here, that's 3 years ago. That's May of 2021. And properties were averaging, rental properties were averaging $1.28 a square foot. We're now at about $1.34, $1.35 a square foot. Now, average is a difficult number because we're comparing properties that are close in to the center of the valley with properties that are in the outskirts. We are seeing the properties in the outskirts spend longer on the market, vacant, and people are dropping their rent some in order to get them rented. Not significantly, because if you look at this chart, it's pretty well flat. But we want you to know that bottom line is property or rents have not been increasing, and they probably won't until people start making more money. The cost of gasoline, the cost of groceries, everybody knows that's higher. And so that affects the budget for people, especially those that have to drive a long way to get in to town where they work. And so that affects how much money they can spend in rent. So let's step back a minute. This chart goes all the way back to year 2000. So we've got the first quarter of a century almost, and you can see what's happened with dollars per square foot. And what happened is they went up like in the early 2000s, and then we crashed when the economy crashed, and now it's been going up ever since. The thing that's happening here is that many of these properties, and take a look and see when you bought yours, you can see the growth that's happened in this. However, many of these properties are 10, 15, 20 years old, and some of them even older. And if they haven't been updated and upgraded, then what winds up happening is they don't rent for the maximum amount. And so it may be time to consider doing a remodel, kitchens and baths. Those are the important things. And the remodel of the kitchens and baths are returning more in equity and value than what it costs to get it done. So it's a good investment in your investment. Another thought would be, you know what, take the older property and exchange it for a newer property. See, the IRS allows us to do a 1031 exchange, which means we can take an older property, exchange it into one or two additional properties, take the equity that we've earned and expand our investment, and we don't have to pay tax on the gain. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on that. It just might be time to think about, what can I do to maximize this fantastic investment that I've got in the Phoenix area that continues to go up in value, that a tenant's paying off the mortgage for me, and how do I make it work for me better? Please feel free to give us a call. So in summary, rents have stopped increasing unless the home has been remodeled. They're getting more than the average rent. Every month, your tenant is increasing your net worth by paying down your mortgage $300, $400, $500 a month. And that's just increasing your net worth. At the same time, the property values have increased year over year by over 7%. Our median home price went up $25,000 last year. That's $2,000 a month, plus $300, $400, $500 a month the tenant's paying. This is a phenomenal investment. And that's why I said hundreds of you are holding on to these investments, and many of you are continuing to buy more at this point. Finally, if you have a low interest rate, a 3-4% interest rate, don't even think about selling. Current interest rates right now are around 7%. We're never going to see 3 and 4%, in my opinion. And so the low interest rate means that your low cost in owning this property is working to your advantage because it increases your cash flow. Let me just say thank you. Thank you for being a client of TCT Property Management Services. I hope this investor update, this couple of minutes that we're talking here, was beneficial for you. And if you want to talk about the strategy of growing and continuing to build wealth and maybe accelerating what you're doing, please give us a call. We're happy to talk with you about that. So that's it. Appreciate your time, and thank you again for being one of our clients, part of our TCT Property Management family.